What is happening, y'all? Cowboy here, and welcome to my Faith build for Demon Souls. So out of all the various builds in Demon Souls, Faith is probably the most beginner-friendly. It is a very potent build that boasts incredible survivability while still being able to put out lots of damage. And it's actually one of the harder builds to kill in PvP as well. So if you are a new player, it is a very, very safe bet to go with. But to jump on into the stats, you're going to want to start with either a Temple Knight or a Priest. I've done so many Temple Knight builds, I picked Priest just to mix things up. But I want to say Temple Knight is slightly more efficient when it comes to your stat allocation. But obviously, being a Faith build, Faith is our primary stat. We're ramping it all the way up to 50. Beyond that, we're going to want to have our Vitality and Endurance also at soft caps, so 50 Vit and 40 Endurance. For Strength and Dexterity, you're going to level these up high enough to meet the requirements for whatever weapon you choose, and we're going to discuss weapons more in depth a little bit later, but 1412 is enough for the Meridian Hammer, which in my experience is a top tier blessed weapon for Faith builds. Magic we have at 10 just to unlock a single spell slot. And then Intelligence at 16 gives me 130 MP while using the Silver Coronet, which is enough that I can cast Second Chance and a Plague Cloud. So moving on over into our gear. First up, the Silver Coronet. Now the Silver Coronet is going to boost our MP up, so as I mentioned, having 16 Intelligence along with this puts me at a perfect 130 MP, which if we go over here to my spells, that is enough that I can cast Second Chance at 100, and also cast Death Cloud at 30, which is great from a PvP perspective. Beyond that, we are working with the Brushwood Armor set, which is the heaviest armor in the game. Now, while this is going to have an impact on your stamina regeneration, can we just take a moment to appreciate how freaking good this armor looks? Out of all the various armors in the remaster, this is by far one of the best looking armor sets. It's just phenomenal looking. So anyway, moving on over to our gear. First up, Blessed Meridian Hammer. Now the Blessed Meridian Hammer is considered by many to be basically top tier. This is a very strong Faith build weapon. It has a relatively simple moveset that actually has a nice amount of stun lock to it. We have a nice catch there with our backstep, which is also our chasing attack. Good to bop people as they're running away. And perhaps the most important for PvP is our heavy attack. You have hyper armor through that entire animation, and it actually has 2 hit points. Hit, as you can see. Now you're not actually going to get 2 hits using that, but what's nice about the move is either of those impact points can hit a target. So when someone's rushing at you in PvP, you can start that up, and if the first hit misses, the second hit will probably connect, and then you can follow up into an R1, making it a very effective weapon in PvP. Our secondary, of course, is the iconic large sword of Moonlight. Definitely a well-known weapon throughout the Souls series, coming in from Kingsfield. And what's interesting is it's a Faith weapon here, whereas in a lot of the other Dark Souls games, it's considered a magic weapon. It does do magic damage, but it is Faith scaling, and an incredibly powerful Faith scaling weapon at that, with S scaling and Faith only requiring 24. It's also unique in the aspect that it can't be blocked. So fighting those blue knights and those red knights that have shields, you will cut through them like butter using a large sword of Moonlight. It's also great in PvP. If people turtle up with a great shield, you just cut right through them. It's like they don't even have a shield there. So definitely a nice secondary weapon. And while the large sword of Moonlight is more than likely going to be fine for a lot of the PvE content in getting you through the game, especially as you progress into the higher levels and PvP in particular, it's good to have a blessed weapon as well. With blessed weapons, it plummets your strength and dex scaling, which is why we will only want to level those up to meet the stat requirements, but we get an A scaling in Faith. Now, there are a lot of blessed weapons that are actually really solid. If you don't like the Meridian Hammer, you instead could go for, Crescent Axe, Great Axe. The Night Sword is always a good all-around choice, even something faster like the Guillotine Axe. Claymore's good, Great Sword's good. I mean, really any weapon that you can bless is going to be good, because the nice thing about blessed is not only do we have a lot of damage, but we also get a hefty amount of health regeneration on them, which is what makes this such a beginner-friendly build. So just to put things into perspective, just having the Regenerator's Ring on, our Adjudicator Shield +5, and a Blessed Meridian Hammer, this gives me a whopping 18 health per second regeneration. That is a lot of healing. So not only is your health just constantly going up, making PvE progression very easy, but especially if you're invaded or you're doing the invading, if somebody doesn't constantly keep the pressure on you, you don't even really need grass to heal. Just backing up, your health will just keep on ticking up, which is what really makes this build such a threat on the battleground. It's that constant regeneration. As for our other stuff, as I mentioned, Adjudicator Shield, we're using this simply for the regeneration. It's never really going to come out, it just stays on our back. And then as for our talisman, we are working with the Talisman of Beasts because I have on Plague Cloud. However, if you want to go for a more offensive faith build with something like God's Wrath, you would use the Talisman of God. The main reason for this is we actually have very high miracle assist here, and we don't need any stat requirements really for it. Whereas this, to actually get the damage out of it, we would need to level our magic all the way up to 18, which we're not doing. So once again, this is another example of the cracked talisman, which is more than fine for the spells we have on. Besides that, as I mentioned, Regenerator's Ring already, because it has the obvious synergy of more regen, and then since we are using Brushwood, we went for the Ring of Great Strength. Now, if you don't want to go Brushwood, instead you want to go for something a little bit lighter, you could swap this out for whatever you want. Some good choices, of course, are the Ring of Sincere Prayer, which will boost miracle power by 50% while raising the cast time by only 10%. Really, really potent to ramp up the damage of our God's Wrath if you decide to run that. Some other choices, of course, are things like the Stamina Ring. You can go for whatever you like here, but I really wanted to go for that beefy kind of paladin look with this faith build, and I think we've done a good job accomplishing that. So moving on from there, let's take a look at the various miracles and talk about what to run with. Now, whereas sorcery is very damage-oriented, miracles are a lot more about utility, and a lot are really, really good. So Hidden Soul is great if you're a host. This will make you basically invisible to phantoms until they're within like 5 feet from you, so it's great to play hide and seek with or just sneak up on them. Evacuate is an absolutely fantastic spell for farming. It costs 20,000 souls to buy, but it lets you instantly warp back to the Nexus, kind of like an Arkstone. Heal, obviously here to heal you. Antidote cures poison. God's Wrath is an incredibly powerful move, and it's one that if you've played the other Souls games, you're probably really familiar with it. But the problem with God's Wrath and Demon Souls is how long it takes to cast. It has a massive AoE. I'll probably actually hit that lady right there. Oh, which on the note, with faith builds, if you just talk to her, once you have, I believe it's 30 faith, she gives you a pure Faint Stone. So you're gonna need that for your blessed weapons. God's Wrath takes a long ass time to cast, as you can see. Also costs a ton of mana, and the main reason I'm not using this with the build is, quite frankly, the time it takes to go off. Most people are just going to boop you. You don't have any hyper armor while casting it, and it's very easy to somebody just walk up and smack you. Now, against players that don't see that it's coming, you can probably get it off. But any practice player in PvP is going to see you casting that, walk up, and just hit you instead. Anti-magic field, absolutely insane. This wasn't used a lot in the original Demon Souls Online because it caused a staggering amount of lag, but that no longer seems to be the case with the remake. And this is fantastic. When you have anti-magic field on, this is easily my favorite miracle. For starters, mages become potatoes. They can't do anything. And it is a mobile aura. So if I just run over here, once I get a little bit closer. Alright, see how far I am away from Urbane? He already is locked down. So if this was PvP and he was a mage, he can't cast any spells. And it moves with you as well, so you don't need to worry about catching somebody in it. You can just run on up to mages and kill them. So personally for me, I like to have both Second Chance and Anti-Magic Field when I do PvP. If I see things like the Crisp Blade or the Monk's Head Wrappings, I'll throw out Anti-Magic. If I see a melee person, I'll throw out Second Chance. But Anti-Magic is really, really useful all around. Beyond the obvious implications in PvP, it's also great in PvE. For example, going through 3-1 in the Tower of Latria. If you have that on, the Squidman can't do their magic and hit you. When you fight the boss, any Fool's Idol that's within range isn't going to be able to cast Soul Arrow. Anti-magic is super trolly, and honestly, it's just a really, really cool ability to be like, magic, not in my house. Moving on from there, Second Chance. Obviously, this instantly pulls you back to 50% health if you would die otherwise. Fantastic all around, can't go wrong with it. Regeneration. Now, regeneration I actually used on this build for a bit, especially early on when I didn't have the +5 blessed weapon or the +5 adjudicator shield. The only problem with regeneration is it's going to conflict with second chance and anti-magic field, so it makes it kind of a hard sell, because while I would like more regeneration, I don't think it's superior to either of these. Resurrection is basically if you want to resurrect your friends, they lost their humanity, you can resurrect them. Cure is actually really nice, only costing 1 slot. You can use this to cure bleed, poison, or plague. And then the other two that I don't have, we have Recovery, which is a full heal, close to a full heal, but a very large heal. And then we have Banish, which you can use to remove black phantoms from your world. Now Banish is a little bit tricky because it is a close range to get off, but basically if a phantom gets hit with this, they get yeeted out of your world and they lose a level for it as well. So in PvP, you'll see a lot of hosts, basically they'll go Hidden Soul and Banish and try to sneakily kick phantoms out of their game. But like I said, I prefer to go for the anti-magic field and second chance combo. I can only put on one at a time, but I can go into a fight, see what I'm up against, and then decide from there. And then I have Death Cloud, because if there's nothing more irritating than fighting a build that has tons of regeneration, it's fighting a build that has tons of regeneration that's also going to cast Plague on you to make sure that you can't heal while they have regeneration coming in. So a very trolly setup in PvP, but one that nonetheless is incredibly effective. So that pretty much wraps things up for the Faith build. It's very, very straightforward. You know, if I had to sum this up in bullet notes for those of you that don't like long videos, it's get a blessed weapon, have on second chance, and stack regeneration. Now, if you want to go for more of a support castery Faith type build, that certainly is something you could do. You know, you could bring along the healing miracles, you could bring along God's Wrath, and God's Wrath can be really strong, especially if you were using that Ring of Sincere Prayer. But once again, keep in mind that the cast times on some of those spells is quite long. And we don't have poise while we're casting stuff. Like Dark Souls 3, we were able to use Sunlight Talisman and get poise, and then get out that Wrath of God and just tank a hit or so while it was coming out. We can't do that here. So it's very easy for us to get interrupted, which sadly doesn't really give Faith builds much of an offensive casting capability. But regardless of that, we are still able to just boop people down with our Blessed Meridian Hammer, and we are able to boop them quite well. So let's jump in. I'm going to show you all some PvP, both invasions and then a fight club that we hosted the other day on stream, and we'll wrap things on up. Oh my god, it's going to be a Faith on Faith. Well, this will certainly be a battle for the ages. Regen build versus regen build. Is he a mage? I'll take it. Goodbye. Oh no. Bitch, you're also gonna fall down. Stop attacking Yurt. Yurt did nothing wrong. I want to get you. Oh! Well, goodbye. I'm going to try and be extra cheeky here. Regen build. Oh, well, you decided to bow, and I decided to plague you. Bop and a bop and a bop. And a boop. Hyper armor. Nope. Nope. Oh, what are you trying to shoot me with a bow? Nope. Still got my second chance too. Wow. This guy trying to DC? No, you ain't going nowhere, buddy. Get out of here. That's gonna plague him. Uh-oh, does your healing not work as well as you would like? Don't spam parry. It's bad for you. Rambo. Enjoy Plague. I love how they always try to roll through it. I am the one true thick build. Goodbye. I don't know what you're trying to cast, but we ain't playing it here. Bop, bend, bop, bend, bop, bend, bop. I also can't do that. Hyperama! I don't know why you're casting. You're not going to be able to cast anything, Adam Vania. Stop with the fucking healing. That's what you get for trying to roll away. Fight back. Don't run away from me. This dude is about to learn the meaning of the term boss fight. Oh, he has a phantom with him. We're going full regen mode, boys. First, you must die. Nope. That's one down. Enjoy the plague, friend. And now I just stay on top of you while you slowly die. Oh, what's wrong? Your full heal's not a full heal anymore. You gonna block? You gonna block? Oh, your ganky, sneaky shit didn't work. I don't know if he realizes that warding does nothing against this sword. Warding only gives you physical resist. Can't expect that to actually hit me, Mello. But the pop. Ooh, he hurts. Holy shit. Damn, napkin with the win. Battle mage builds. The longer you wait, the more my health returns. Yes. Oh, just barely missed it. What do you got? Ooh, big dunks. Stuck on that thing. You might want to get some more levels before you come in here. Well, I'm 120. Technically, any level could come in here to fight. Oh no! Oh, I got vacuumed in. Look at the regen though. Even with the parry, my health is still just like, no. I don't think we're gonna die today. Sammy. Get away from the merchant, please. I'm not trying to kill my merchant. I know we're having fun-filled fights, but there we go. Over here, let's have our little dance right here, away from the merchant. got a second chance. God damn. The longer I wait. Oh! Damn. That was a good setup, Harry. Oh, look, his mage is hiding behind the corner like we don't see him. He thinks we don't see him. I'll wait for Moist to get here, and then I'm gonna I'll repop anti-magic, and we'll just clown on these two. Is the other one a mage? I can't really tell. He has warding on, so probably. Where's Moist at? Oh, it's go time. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Uh-oh. Sorry, mage. Looks like you can't cast. I'm gonna finish this one. Yes. Didn't even try to parry. I'm down. Oof. Oof. When you're trying to gank and instead you get hit with the spank. And on that note, we're going to wrap things up. So having wrapped up the strength, dex, quality, magic, and faith builds, this will actually bring our chapter of Demon Souls build videos to a close. Now there's plenty of other builds out there. A lot of them are more focused on a singular weapon, stuff like a Northern Regalia build or a Blue Blood Sword build. But with Cyberpunk coming out in just a day, I want to be able to spend some time with that. So I still plan on doing a lot of Demon Souls PvP on stream, but from the perspective of the build videos, this will likely be the last one. But either way, I still think just covering those 5 main archetypes should be more than enough to kind of set you on your way, give you an idea of the variety of playstyles you can have in this game. And especially with it being like the origin of the Souls games, I definitely think it's one that everyone should have a chance to experience. And you know, especially looking at like magic versus faith versus the melee builds, they're all very different play styles with strengths and weaknesses. So either way, hopefully these build videos helped y'all out. Appreciate the support on this stuff as always. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.